So today I'm having a look at the Look at Layers collection, and this is beautiful fancy squares, circles, ovals and rectangles. Now also in this collection there are the Lazy Daisy and Pretty Sunflowers, and they're also layering dies, and you can also combine this with the All Occasions set 1 and 2 to make any sentiment that you wish to add to your cards. So today I'm going to look at combining sets with different layers, and I'm going to use the squares and the circles together to make a really pretty card. So my colour scheme for this card is going to be pale blue and white with some dark blue for the letters, and I'm also going to incorporate a piece of designer card. Now this is a piece that I bought at a craft show a long time ago, but you can use any designer piece of card or paper that you have in your stash. So for the base card we're going to use the pale blue, and I'm just going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to trim it down to a 6-inch square. Also from this card I've taken another piece that will create a panel that will sit on the front. Now with this we're going to turn this into an easel card, so you'll need to fold one of the pieces in half so that it stands like this, and this is the part that will fasten to the front to create the easel. Then from the designer piece of card I've taken another piece, and I have cut this down to just slightly smaller than the panel that we've got for the easel, and this just leaves a small border around the edge. Now I think we'll have it that way up, and that's going to attach to there. So from the white card I have cut one of the square panels, and I haven't taken the centre out, I've just cut it as it is, and then measuring the designer paper into this square I've cut another piece that will sit in there. So those are my next 2 layers. Now with the circular die from the set I've cut one of the layers with designer card, I've taken the centre piece and cut one in patterned paper in the white, but I've also cut from this piece another sheet, and this is double-sided sticky tape, and that's going to sit on the front of this. So let's just put together the bits that we've created. This piece is going to sit on that layer, and it's going to leave just a small border around all the edges. Now this will need attaching to this layer, but you're only going to glue this bottom portion, and that will sit on there. So now there's the start of your easel card, and we'll glue these 2 together. And that can sit in there. Now with this fancy circle we want this piece of double-sided sticky tape fastened to the front of it. So we keep the pretty side facing up, we take the backing off, so we'll just fold part of it down, and we'll add this to the front. So we'll line it all up, make sure it's all stuck down where it's been peeled off, and then peel the rest off, and that will keep that fastened to the front of that card. So once you've done that, you can peel this off and you can add this piece to it. Just make sure all the little bits are poked out. There we go. And now we can add this to the top of our sticky sheet. And then once we've done that and we've pressed it all down, we can then add glitter to this. Now once you've sprinkled it with the glitter, press it all down to make sure that it's all well stuck. And that's another section for our cards. Now to make mine look a little bit deeper, I've decided to cut another panel, and I'm going to glue this and marry it up to the pattern that's already on there, and that will give it some extra depth. So these are the pieces that we have now ready to go on our card, but because this is going to be an easel card, we need a stop to keep it open. So I've got two pieces of blue card that I'm going to glue together, and I'm going to add a piece of the designer paper for the top. I'm also going to put on the back of it a nice piece of foam, and that will keep the stop open. So let's just do that now. So we'll put plenty of glue on just to keep that in place. We'll put this on the other side, there, and to the top of it we'll add this patterned paper that we've used here. And that will leave just a little border around the edge. So now we can add these pieces in place along there, and then we can add this to the top along there. So again, we'll make sure that's the right way up, and we'll add that to the top of the card there. We have the stop to keep the easel open, and then we can add this to the top. Now what I think I might do is cut another piece of this white and just fit it along there, just to blend it all in with the card. So once you've cut another piece, you're going to add that to the inside of your card, just to this little stop piece here. So don't be afraid to cut this up. So with the pencil, I'm just going to make a little mark, and I'm going to cut that into the trimmer. So I've cut that just a little bit shorter, and I'm going to marry it up with the patterns that's on this other piece here. And that will now be cut it there like that. That will now be cut so that that fits together, and then that will fit onto my panel there. Now you may need to do a little bit of measuring just to patch it up, but once you've done that and you've glued these two together, you won't be able to see where the join is. So once that's added in place, that's our stop, and that now matches in with the rest of the card. So I've just added a little bit of foam tape to the back of that, and that's going to sit along there. So that's just added that in there, and now we can add this piece to the top of there. Now you can add that with foam tape if you wish, just to raise it up a little bit, and that will give extra depth to your card. And then we can decorate it with some flowers. So from the plain blue card I've taken the leaves and the flower centres, and I'm going to cut as many as I need from those, especially the leaves. I'm going to cut more than this. And from the designer card I've taken the flower bits and I'm going to cut those out, and again I'm going to cut as many as I need. So once you have your flowers and your leaves all cut, I'm just going to take some blue ink. This is Blueprint Sketch, and I'm just going to go around the edges of all these petals, all these flowers. I'm going to do the same to all of them. So I'll just do these. Now these are from this die, and these are just a little bit of a different shape to these. So once I've gone around the edges of these and the ones that go with them, which is this one, I'm going to do some cutting and shaping. So once you've gone around the edges and these are the ones that are the sunflowers, you're going to take a little pair of scissors and you're just going to snip down towards the centre. You don't need to do it on all of them, and you don't want to go all the way through. You just want to do little bits so that you can shape these petals with your ball tool. There we are. Now we'll do the same with the smaller ones. Again, be very careful you don't go all the way through. Now once you've done that, you're going to need a soft mat to be able to shape them. So we'll just turn them over and we'll just go around the edges, just adding some shape to the end of those petals. And then we can turn it over and press into the centre, and that will just give that some shape. And you're going to do exactly the same with the top layer, with the smaller layer. And again, press into the centre. And now with some glue, you can add this to the centre of this flower. And then into the middle of that you can add your centerpiece. Now you could leave that there if you wanted to and just add in a pearl. So there we've got two flowers now for the top of our card. Now I'm going to do the same with that. That will also create another one of these flowers. But then these I'm just going to add some ink to and just shape them. I'm not going to cut these, I'm just going to shape them. Now these you can leave just as single layers if you wish, it's entirely up to you. But if you just turn them over, add some shape to the outside of the petal and then turn them back and go into the centre. And all this is doing is breaking down the fibres in the card. Now, as I said, you can leave them as single flowers or you can double them up to make a centrepiece. So once you have your flowers made and you've used the centerpieces, you can leave the centerpieces out if you wish. And if you wanted to add a pearl to the centre and you wanted to add a blue pearl to the centre, but all you've got are white ones, then take your alcohol markers and just colour the pearls to the colour that you want. And then once those are dry, you can add those to the centre of your flowers just as you would if they were plain. And then you can add these to the rest of your cards. So once my flowers are prepared, I'm going to add one to the stop that will hold open the easel, and then the rest of them I'm going to add along here on my card. And then once I've got those glued in place, I'm going to tuck the leaves in behind. So I'll just get these glued in and then they're ready to be decorated further. Now with the dark blue card and a piece of really thin stick-it sheet, I've taken the words birthday wishes from the occasions set, and it says birthday wishes for you, and I'm going to cut those out and then add them to my card. So once these words have been cut, you can remove the backing from the letters, from the words, and then you can just add these to your card. So there's my easel card now ready to send, and it says birthday wishes for you. It folds down so it will fit into an envelope, and I've used the words from the All Occasions set 2. These are the dies from the Look at Layers collection, and I've used the circles and the squares, and I've decorated it with the flowers. So that's now all ready to send, and I do hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.